You know, since this is a movie about spirits, you can say that the host is a ghost. Host focuses on a group of friends who are stuck in quarantine and hold weekly calls over Zoom to stay in touch. One week they hire a medium to conduct a seance, but what starts off as something fun turns much more sinister as they all begin experiencing some truly terrifying phenomena. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here and you like movies, whether it be blockbusters, hidden gems, or everything in between, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you can stay up to date with reviews of new releases and some classics. Today, let's talk about Host. This was just released on Shudder, and it marks something truly unique, as it was written, shot, and edited in 12 weeks over the course of the COVID-19 pandemic. The film makes direct references to the pandemic, and the director, Rob Savage, had to direct all the actors over Zoom, while they had to do their own lighting setups and work all the special effects themselves. The entire movie is presented through the point of view of a Zoom call, and this isn't the first time something like this has ever been done before. The Unfriended movies both did something similar, though over Skype, and while not a horror movie, there was also Searching, which was presented entirely through a computer screen. It may seem like a gimmicky setup, but it's actually very impressive that we've gotten a few good movies that employ this narrative tactic, Searching being my favorite. Now, if you've seen these other movies before, especially Unfriended, some of the scares aren't exactly going to be new to you when watching Host. Characters will be talking and there will be something moving in the background on its own, they'll be dragged away from their screen, they'll hear noises. It's actually even in the vein of the Paranormal Activity movies to a degree. But that doesn't mean they're not well done. In fact, the scares here are very effective. I had a lot of fun watching this movie. I know found footage horror films aren't exactly always a fan favorite. I remember there was a surge of these in the late 2000s and early 2010s, and it felt like everyone got sick of them quickly, at least from what I saw. But I always enjoyed this style because the whole idea of these sort of movies was that they were supposed to feel real, which in turn gives you a much better emotional connection to the characters, and I almost always got that sense, and that's once again how I felt with this movie. The conversations felt natural, and the actors all worked well with one another. One thing I was reading was that even though this is all scripted, parts of the screenplay were redacted, so the actors didn't know exactly what was going to happen, so their reactions were genuine. Plus, they were also allowed to improvise some of their dialogue. Like, there's a moment early on where a character sneezes, and everyone else comments on it because of the pandemic. Little moments like that weren't in the script, and it helped this movie a lot. You can tell there's a very loose feel to this. Characters are talking over one another, and they feel relaxed, so the chemistry sells the overall genuine feel. And all the actors do a phenomenal job here, actually, especially given what they had to work with. They're all fairly newer actors, they only have a few other credits to their name, and all the characters here are named after them, but I hope we'll get to see them in more after this. They were all solid leads, and their handling of the material helped crank up the tension and sell all of the scares as feeling very real. Plus, it's very impressive how effective some of the camera angles were, especially given the limitations the cast and crew had. There's essentially no music or any sort of background score, and we'll get these static, grainy shots of a dark hallway or poorly lit room. Like, there's one moment where a character's at one end of their hallway and you can see all the way into the room on the other end where they think they heard something. And it's so quiet you can hear a pin drop and it just sends chills up your spine, especially because outside of a small handful of moments, the movie doesn't resort to jump scares to frighten the audience. So the eerie feel of just staring down this empty hallway in silence made for some truly great suspense. One of my only complaints is that the movie is only 57 minutes long. It's barely feature length. The idea is that once all the characters sign on, the length of the movie lasts as long as a regular Zoom call, but you get an extended setup where our 5 main characters are talking to a 6th character who was supposed to be on the call with them, but he signs off almost as soon as the seance begins, and he barely offers much to the story, to be honest. And then after that, it's pretty much over before you know it, so you don't spend that much time really getting to know these characters. On top of that, there are a few minor things here and there that I had issues with. 1 or 2 of the scares are foreshadowed pretty early on, and you can call how they're going to be used from like a mile away. There are also a few moments where characters are walking through their house to investigate a noise, and they're carrying their laptops with them when they'd have no other reason to other than for us to just know what's going on. A few of those moments felt like they were pushing the suspension of disbelief, but that didn't totally ruin the experience or anything, and I still had a lot of fun with this. Overall, this was a nice surprise. Despite the limitations that the cast and crew had, they pulled off an effective horror movie that provided genuine scares. It built up the suspense well, felt very creepy, and had some great performances, making for a fun horror movie. It's on Shudder now, and if you have it, definitely check it out. Host gets an 8 out of 10. Meanwhile, if you're into Christopher Nolan's movies, I've been reviewing each of his films one by one as a lead up to Tenet. I'm going to be talking about Interstellar next, which I'll have out within the next few days. Stay tuned for that and more 2020 reviews coming soon. So let me know, did you see Host or are you planning to see it, and what were your thoughts? Did you find it scary? Did you not mind the short runtime? And what's one of your favorite found footage horror movies? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please like it and share it, and for more movie reviews and film discussion, please make sure to hit that subscribe button to stay updated. Thanks for watching, everyone. I'll catch you next time.